Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. My name is Rim Shahan and my topic is related to speech act theory. Today I am going to tell you about background of speech act theory, what is speech act theory, and three kinds of speech acts and difference between direct and indirect speech acts. First of all, I am going to give you an introduction of the speech act theory. Actually, speech act theory was emerged in 1960 against the backdrop of truth conditional semantics. And according to truth conditional semantics, the principal use of language is to state facts, to describe things the way they are in the real world, and to present information which is either true or false. For example, I am presenting, my presentation is going to be true if I am actually presenting my presentation at the moment of this utterance. But speech act theory was introduced by Austin in his work How to Do Things with Words that was published in 1962, and by Searle in his work Speech Acts that was introduced by 1969. And according to them, they argue that language is used to do things other than just to refer to the truth or falseness of any particular statement. And they argued that in the same way that we perform physical acts, we also perform acts by using language. And according to them, we use language to give orders, to make requests, to give warning, or to give advice. In other words, to do actions or to do things that go beyond the literal meaning of what we say. In order to understand how speech acts work, it is necessary to look at three kinds of speech acts introduced by Austin: the locutionary act, the illocutionary act, the perlocutionary act. I'm going to analyze an example, it's very cold inside, in order to explain these terms. The locutionary act refers to the literal meaning of the actual words, such as it's very cold inside, referring to the temperature. The illocutionary act refers to the speaker's intention in uttering the words, or the pragmatic meaning, such as a request for someone to turn off the air condition or maybe to close the windows and door. The perlocutionary act refers to the effect this utterance has on the thoughts or actions of the other person, such as after listening this sentence, someone getting up and turning off the air condition and closing the windows and door. As the example, it is very cold inside has shown, utterance can be used to make other people to do something. Now, I am going to tell you about the difference between direct speech acts and indirect speech acts. The speaker can choose to make his intended meaning explicit or to state it indirectly. Sometimes, when we speak, we do mean exactly what we say. So, an utterance is seen as a direct speech act when there is a direct relationship between the form and the function of the utterance. And in order to make direct speech acts, we create direct association between the sentence forms and speech acts. And for this purpose, we use performative verbs performatively. For examples, I ordered you to leave the room. I warned you not to say that. And I promise you to take you to the game tomorrow. Or, I advise you to wash the dishes. In these examples, we can observe the message is very clear here and there is no possibility of misunderstanding. So we can say that whenever there is a direct relationship between the function of a speech act and its structural form, we have a direct speech act. Now, I am going to tell you about indirect speech acts. When there is no direct relationship between a structure or a form and function, but rather an indirect one, the speech act is considered indirect. It is when the speaker has something in the mind and by saying it, it is not specifically indicated. For example, don't say that. This sentence is implicit as what the speaker has in mind is not specifically indicated. So it has many implications depending on the situation and the relationship between the speaker and the hearer. So it could be an indirect speech act, or it could be a warning, a request, a command, or a piece of advice, etc. I have some other examples, such as if I am saying that you are standing in front of the TV. The structure is declarative, but the function could be a request. It could be a request to someone to please get aside in front of the TV. If I say that I will bring you the book tomorrow, the structure is declarative, but the function could be a promise. Can you pass the salt? Here I am not talking about the ability of passing the salt or not. The function could be a request instead of a question. Thank you so much. That's all from my side.